Thank you for joining me this week. This week, I want to talk a little bit about interview skills. So the past couple of weeks, we've been diving into skills that you need to find that ideal position, that next position where you go in, you love the company, you love the culture, and everything lines up. So hopefully you reworked your resume based off of last week's position and you have some interviews lined up. So let's talk about interviews. Now, whenever we consider interviews, we hear a lot of things that we should do. We should be the first to shake hands. We should prepare. We should research the company. We should bring copies of our resume on nice resume paper. But today I want to talk about 3 things that you should not do. So these are 3 very important things. The first thing, you should not complain about past positions. The reason for this is the recruiter can't help but think, if you're complaining about everything that went wrong, did it actually happen that way, or were you the cause of the drama? So the question is probably going to be asked, why'd you leave your last position? Have that conversation ready. It can be an honest conversation. When I was looking for a new job, whenever I was working at the nursing home, it wasn't the right fit for me for the industry. I love the people that I worked for, and I love the company that I worked for, and was amazed and humbled every day at the things that they were doing, but it wasn't the right industry. And so I would share that how much I admired the company and how special everybody was, but it wasn't a fit for me. My entire background was hospitality, so it made sense that I was trying to get back into hospitality. If you did leave a company and there was some drama surrounding your leaving, you can just let them know. I was looking for a growth opportunity. I had reached the level that I could at this company, and now I'm looking to grow into that next level. And I'm really excited to do that, have the opportunity to do that with your company, right? You see how that shifts it from negative drama into, I'm trying to grow, I'm trying to better myself, and I want to grow with your company. That's a compliment. So the first thing that we don't do is complain about our last or any company that we have worked with. Now, the second thing that you do not want to do during an interview is show a lack of enthusiasm. If you are taking the time to interview, know that there are people that are investing their time in you. Yes, you are interviewing a company as well as they are interviewing you, and you're working to determine if it's the right fit. But you should still show up. Be invested. Be engaged. Inquire about small talk. Ask them, how's everything going? Especially right now during the pandemic. How's your family doing? How are y'all adjusting? How's the company handling everything? These are valid questions to ask, and it shows a sincere interest in the person and the company that you're speaking with. If you have decided that the company is not for you, or you have decided that you're just doing it for practice, you still need to show up. You still need to show that enthusiasm and that passion. You owe it to the person who is giving you their time, just like they owe it to you to show up and be enthusiastic and be passionate with you as well. Now, the third thing that you should not do during an interview is not answer the question. So they will ask you questions, and you need to be prepared on how to answer those questions. If you need to take time to think about it, that's fine. Take the time to think about it. Some of the most common questions are going to involve things like, tell me about yourself. People think this is an easy question, right? I can talk about myself all day. You don't need to give me an excuse. Let me tell you about how amazing I am. But when you're actually sitting in an interview, it's hard. So make sure you have that question wrapped up neatly. The second part about answering questions is a lot of the questions that you're answering have a story to be told. You've already experienced these things, and you want the interviewer to know that you have already experienced these things. So you can use a speaker trick that we use whenever we're building keynotes and different training, and you can come up with stories that fit. Like if I get asked about time management, I have a story that fits. If I get asked about a time when everything went wrong and it was absolute chaos working in operation, that was a common question that I would get asked. My time management story fits that as well. You see, stories can adapt to multiple questions. So farm your stories. General rule of thumb, be prepared to answer a question, tell me about yourself. Be prepared to answer a question about time management. Be prepared to answer a question about conflict. And the conflict can take 3 levels. It can be a conflict with a customer, a conflict with a peer, or a conflict with a leader. Have 3 of those in your back pocket. Other questions that you can expect is prioritization. So you have multiple tasks that you're expected to do. How do you make it work? That goes with time management, but it's generally not the same question. And then know something about the company. Any company worth its salt is going to ask a question that would fit their culture, right? So at Central Market, we love food. So there's probably going to be a food question on the interview. At Disney, it was all about magic and happiness and creating those incredible memories. So there was going to be a question that aligned with that as well. The final thing, and this is just a bonus, but make sure that you have questions for your interviewers. Be aware of their time. You don't want to ask 3 questions if you have a panel of 4 people and expect all 4 people to answer all of your questions. But you can still ask questions and be thoughtful about the questions. Some of the best questions I get are, why do you like working at the company? I love it when people ask me, why do I like working at Central Market? Or did I like working at Walt Disney World? Do something that connects your interviewer to the company's culture and then see how they respond. It will tell you a lot about the company you were considering. Thank you very much for joining us for this week's Weekly Wisdom. And as always, if you want any help with resume writing, interview skills, LinkedIn, or just have a career conversation and you're trying to figure out the next steps, reach out to me. My email's in the notes below. And if you've enjoyed the video, please subscribe. I'm currently trying to get to 100 subscribers on YouTube so I can personalize my YouTube channel. It would be really helpful if you did. I believe there's going to be a button right here, I think, that will allow you to subscribe. The link will be in the notes as well. Don't forget to leave what you learned in the comments. I like hearing from y'all. And as always, you got this.